Greetings, programs. This is Wretch. Welcome back to A Golden Wake. And in the last episode, guys, Alfie got a rude awakening about the realities of working with the mob, and he wants out. However, Fatty Walsh is not too keen on granting him that request, so we've been able to develop a plan in order to convince the mobster that it would be time for us to part ways. We put Alfie's gun in a cake back at the bakery that we were able to secure for him, and that cake has been delivered here to the party, and that's going to allow us to fetch the gun without Butch knowing. So hopefully all of these pieces are going to come into play, all the dots will connect.
Hold on there, Alfie. You know the rules. I gotta search you.
Fine, but make it quick.
Nothing here, Butch. We are clean.
Okay, you're clear. Go ahead.
Except for the bottle of moonshine. Oh, and there's the cake. You retrieve your special ingredient from the cake while nobody is looking. Alright. Our icing covered cake here. Alright, Fatty. It's now or never. You go over the threats you've rehearsed in your head once again, then reach in your pocket for your gun. Just as you're about to pull it out, however...
Boss, big trouble. The coppers are on their way. Someone tipped them off and they're coming to raid us.
Wouldn't you just know it, right during a winning streak, too? Okay, you know the drill. Flip the switches and clear everyone out. Party's over, folks. Everybody kindly scram.
Oh, boss, there's just one more thing.
Yeah?
Oh, no. Or, oh, yes.
What the hell was that?
He had it coming. Some of the guys up north felt he was getting too big for his britches, so I got the order to cut him down.
So what happens to us now that Fatty's gone? Who's in charge, I mean?
Sorry to bust your bubble, but it ain't you. They'll send someone else from up north in the next couple of days. That's how this works.
So much for loyalty.
Don't give me that crap, Banks. You've been doing this long enough to know that it's all about knowing your place and doing what you're told.
So that story about the police coming was just a distraction?
Oh, no, they're coming all right. They need to find the bodies so this makes the news. Now, enough standing around.
Oh, no.
Butch, wait.
Huh?
You're just gonna leave? What am I supposed to do?
Don't tell me.
Oh, yeah, about that. The coppers are gonna need someone to pin this on. I'm sorry to say, you drew the short straw, kid. No hard feelings, huh? Oh, I'm locking the elevator behind me, so don't bother trying to follow.
What? How can you just...
After everything.
I better figure out another way out of here. And fast.
Yeah. Okay. Oh, the bookcase. That's a good way. Do we need to... Wait. Leave the body for the police. Okay, that's fine. Anything in the desk, Fatty? You rummage through Fatty's desk, but all you manage to find is a piece of paper with a very odd short story on it. The escape. Gloria knew the time had come. It was now or never. Nobody could tell her what to do. Violet had tried to warn her. Once, she even intervened. I can barely read this. David was sweet, but she didn't love him, knowing this made her feel ill. Anyone else would have stayed. Running away was all she had. Understandably, she was quite upset. Marriage just wasn't for her. Oh, gin, vodka, rum. Aha! Anytime I see any kind of letter where everything's capitalized on one side, you examine Fatty's alcohol collection more closely. Gin, vodka, rum. Suddenly you hear a rumbling sound coming from the other side of the room. A secret passage had opened up through which you escape. Ooh.
Thanks. Over here.
Oh.
Easy there, fellas. Let this guy through. He's with me. Is what they're saying true? Fatty Walsh is dead?
I think I'd prefer to plead the fifth on that one, Miss Douglas.
It's not exactly a secret that you were working for him.
Maybe not, but I've realized it's time for another career change.
Well, I'm afraid you're out of luck if you were planning on going back to Coral Gables. Our friend George Merrick got ousted from the city commission last June. Just as well, really. I was starting to get sick of writing all that bait and hook baloney. There's a new mayor, too. Dammers had some medical issue and went back up north.
Is that so?
In any case, the boom's over. It's all gone bust now. Fact is, the whole world is changing.
Yes, I'm beginning to get that impression.
So what's next for you? Aside from dodging the police, that is.
I'm not sure, but I'll try and figure something out. Good night, Miss Douglas. And thanks. I guess I owe you one.
Don't mention it. Good night, Mr. Banks. And good luck. Something tells me we're all going to be needing quite a lot of it very soon.
If he had stayed put, he may have been able to fill that hole and get the mayorship. Oh god, the Wall Street crash. Wall Street in panic as stocks crash. Marjorie wasn't kidding. The world really changed. As the country has sunk into a Great Depression, so have you. After the repeal of Prohibition, you mainly spend your time frequenting the newly opened bars. Black Tuesday. Chapter 4. Returning Alone. Fall, 1935.
Another round for you, Bill?
Sure, why not? Ever since they started letting us drink again, I just can't say no. So, has the old sad sack been in tonight?
Not yet, but it's coming up on 9. He should be here any minute.
You know, he may be a real son of a bitch, but I can't help but feel sorry for him.
Well, I don't. Plenty of people are hurting these days. A whole bunch are way worse off than him. I'll take those poor folks in the Dust Bowl, for example. Anyway, just because he used to be a real estate big shot doesn't give him the excuse to be disagreeable. But hey, as long as he pays and keeps to himself, I have no quarrel with him.
Maybe I can get him going tonight and see if we can finally find out if he was really working for the mob.
Well, speak of the devil.
Oh, I feel times have been tough.
Good evening, Mr. Banks. What'll it be tonight?
Yeah, we've had whiskey and rum already.
Gin and tonic, and go easy on the tonic.
Oh.
Yes, sir. Will this be on your tab?
It is every other night. Why should tonight be any different?
Here you are, sir.
So you got a light, pal?
Time has not been kind. It's your flask. You've had it for about 4 years now, and lately it seems to be your best friend. Oh, matches. You quickly pocket the book of matches. Here you go, buddy. Bill.
Thanks, buddy.
Have I got horns coming out of my forehead or something?
No, sir.
Then why are you staring at me like I do?
You used to work in real estate, didn't you?
Sure.
Yeah, so? What of it?
So, I'm curious about what it was like to be right in the middle of the land boom. But really, I'm more curious about what happened afterwards. Is it true you were working for Fatty Walsh?
You really are a blue nose, aren't you? If I were you, I'd stop asking those sorts of questions before things get unpleasant.
Oh, is that a threat? This is exciting. Are you threatening me?
Bill, knock it off.
Throw a punch? Not yet. Let's just deny.
No, I'm doing more than just threatening.
Oh. Oh.
Oh, my head.
You're more of a lover than a fighter.
I suppose I've woken up in worse spots than this before.
And even not much of a lover.
What's that over there on the wall?
A collection of leaflets and flyers are stuck to the wall. They seem to have been here for several years. A puddle of filthy water has accumulated in the center of the alley. There doesn't seem to be a good drainage system in place here. Oh, I like the reflection. You examine the flyers more closely. It's just a bunch of old posters for movies, music events, and Prohibition, although you can just make out a familiar blue underneath one of them. You attempt to tear some of the posters off, but they've become plastered to the wall. There has to be some way of seeing what's underneath. Oh, we're dumpster diving? You don't want to explore the dumpster too closely. There doesn't seem to be anything useful in it anyway. Snake? The box is empty, apart from an old red handkerchief. It reminds you of your old one, so you decide to take it with you. That might work. There isn't much of a dry handkerchief could solve there. Well, fortunately, we got some dirty water. You soak the handkerchief in the dirty puddle water. You decide to try wetting the posters with the soaked handkerchief. Oh, there's the golden galleon. No. Yeah, circular motions. Wax on, wax off.
Coral Gables, the Golden Galleon. Huh. The days when I was an upstart kid who was gonna make something of himself and restore the family name. Look where that got me. Ah, forget it. Life's too short to hold grudges. After all, if it hadn't been for Merrick, I'd probably be panhandling in Bryant Park right now. Might as well go see how the old bird is doing these days. Can't possibly be worse off than me. This place hasn't changed one bit. At least something from the old days is still around.
Alfie is so self-destructing. You know what I mean? It's crazy. Oh, she's still here.
Alfie Banks? What on earth are you doing here?
Mrs. Merrick, I know it's been a while, and I'm sorry.
10 years is much more than a while in my book, young man. In any case, I'm afraid you've picked a bad time to call.
What's the matter?
It's George, that stubborn fool. He's gonna get himself killed.
Killed? How?
You mean you haven't heard?
There's a hurricane coming. They're saying it might be as bad as the one in 26. It's set to pass through the Keys tomorrow afternoon.
So, why hasn't anyone prepared here?
Because it's not expected to come this far north.
Then there's something I'm not understanding. How exactly is George in danger?
We've been living down in Matacumbe Key for the past few years. George opened up a fishing club, and we've been running it together ever since he was ousted from the city commission. When he heard the hurricane was coming, he sent me up here and refused to budge. He said he wasn't going to let his dream die twice.
That's crazy! We have to get him out of there!
I'm afraid there isn't much that can be done. They've stopped all the trains going south.
There has to be a way. Don't worry, ladies. I'll get George back here safely. I owe him that much, at least.
Please be careful, Alfie.
And good luck.
Is this going to be Alfie's redemption arc? We'd love to see it. Hello? A security guard is standing in front of the entrance to the train station. He looks very familiar.
Begging your pardon, sir.
What can I do for you?
Oh.
Didn't you used to be a guard at the Dinner Key Marina?
Yes, I did. Until I got fired for letting some jerk steal a part from a hydroplane. Took me years to be able to convince anyone to hire me back.
Whoops.
Oh. Sorry to hear that. When does the next train leave?
It doesn't.
What?
Well, haven't you heard? There's a hurricane set to strike the Keys.
Yes, I have, actually.
Well, then you should know that all the trains have been canceled.
You don't understand. It's of the utmost importance that I get down to the Keys.
I do understand, and I'm afraid you're out of luck, friend. There's only one train going down there, and it's not for passengers.
Why not?
Because it's being sent to evacuate the WPA construction workers who haven't left yet. If you need to take a fishing trip, I suggest you wait a few days.
But we're fishing for redemption.
There's something important we need to discuss.
Is there? Do tell.
Look, friend, it's extremely important I get on that train.
Come on, we have something in common. Our butt chins. Cropped hair, polished brass, pressed suit. Strict. Okay. I don't know if official... Oh, let's just say there's a friend.
I have a friend in the Keys who needs my help.
Your friend has probably already been evacuated. There's nobody in their right mind left down there who shouldn't be there.
I know for a fact he hasn't. He's very stubborn and insists on staying.
I still don't see how that's my problem.
Empathy... Maybe conscience.
A man might die if I don't go down and save him. Can you really live with that on your conscience?
And if I let you go down there, you might get yourself killed too. And then I'd have 2 deaths on my conscience. So unless you give me an extraordinary reason, you're not getting on this train.
Plead. No, let's name drop sounds good.
I need to save George Merrick. He's in danger.
Merrick? The Coral Gables guy? What's he doing down there?
He's been running a fishing club, but he's insisted on staying behind. Please, you don't know him like I do. He's very stubborn and passionate. If I don't go down there, he won't budge and he'll probably die.
Well, I'm sorry, but I have to stand firm on my orders. You're not getting on this train.
Oof. Come on, buddy.
Begging your pardon, sir.
What can I do for you?
I'm afraid I must be going.
Have a good day, sir.
Would you like some alcohol in this trying time?
Look, I'm desperate. I need to get on that train. Can I maybe offer you a drink to look the other way?
A drink? You're trying to buy me off with a drink?
Yes?
You're just lucky I've been craving one for hours. Go on, before I change my mind. And if anyone asks, you don't tell them I let you on board.
Deal.
It's the least we can do considering the fact we kind of ruined his life. Oh, God. Hours later.
Can't see a thing. We should be well on our way. Now I just need to find a way out of this car.
Lamp might be The lamp is empty. It won't be much use to you currently. Interestingly, the lid of the barrel isn't sealed. You lift it up and see that it is nearly full to the top with what definitely smells like kerosene. Oh, okay. You gently place the handkerchief in the barrel until it's fully soaked with kerosene. Then take it here to the lamp. You wring the kerosene out from the handkerchief, filling the base of the lamp. And then we got our matches. Using the matches, you quickly light the lamp. Okay, we brought some light to the situation. You are unable to see how using that would be helpful. Oh, that's right, we are technically stowaways. You are unable to see how using that... Oh, sorry. Through that door. Hit him with the hammer.
The storm seems to have made landfall already. Horse feathers! Sticking around back here probably isn't the best idea. I should head towards the front of the train.
Since it's not currently being used, you decide to appropriate the hammer. This window has been covered by a plank of plywood, a standard precaution against hurricane winds. Can we use the... Oh. I guess you could, but why? Normally these seats would be full of passengers, but given the circumstances, they are currently unoccupied.
What? Who are you? What are you doing on this train?
The name's Banks. I snuck on board because I need to get to the keys.
You're crazy. What were you thinking?
I thought this train was meant to be taking supplies down there.
It was, but the people who sent it underestimated the power of the storm. We're only going forward because there's no way to turn back. The train is already starting to come apart. You're lucky it came up here when you did. I was just about to detach the locomotive.
But why?
Because if even one car gets blown off the tracks, the rest of the train will too. It's not worth... Damn it! I was afraid this would happen. If we don't equalize the pressure in this car, in the next few minutes it'll come apart.
Oh god.
Help me get one of these windows open, would you?
Okay. The windows are stuck shut because of the pressure. You'll need to find some other way to open them. I've got a way.
Good going, thanks. Now let's get to the locomotive so we can detach the train. Otherwise, we'll be swept off the tracks along with the rest of it.
I didn't even think about that equalizing pressure on a train.
Banks, quit wasting time and let's get to the locomotive.
$1997, good year.
The winds seem to have died down slightly. We must be entering the eye of the storm. Or maybe not. I'd better find George. There isn't much time.
Building purpose is unknown, but you get the feeling George isn't inside. The sign lists prices for rentals. Alright, we'll go door to door if we have to.
George, open this door right now!
Oh.
Alfie Banks? I have to admit, you were the last person I expected to see walking through that door. What brings you to my little club?
I came to get you, George. In case you weren't aware, there's a huge hurricane on its way.
I am well aware, yes. In fact, I sent Eunice away because of it.
I know. She's the one who told me where I could find you.
I see. I have to confess, I don't fully understand why you've come. But as long as you're here, go ahead and have a seat.
I haven't got time to talk. We have to leave.
I insist. Besides, I'm not going anywhere.
Jeez, we're like both in black, too. Several photos show Coral Gables in its heyday. You feel a twinge of nostalgia. Yeah, you could have had it all, Alfie. Or at least some. Photograph of Merrick's baby, the Biltmore Hotel. He clearly hasn't forgotten about it after all these years. Oh, that's right, the mob did, kick him out. You haven't seen George in nearly 10 years. Despite his older appearance, he still maintains his powerful presence.
George?
Yes?
Apologize. You know what? Yeah.
I know we didn't part on the best of terms the last time we saw each other. I just wanted to say I'm sorry. I was young and stupid. I thought the world owed me.
Apology accepted, Alfie. We've all been there. So, now that we've got that out of the way, what else is on your mind?
We gotta go, buddy.
So, what have you been doing with yourself the past few years?
Well, I'm sure you heard about the bust. Coral Gables went bankrupt, and I was forced to step down from the commission. I always enjoyed it down here in the Keys, and Eunice's family just happened to own this property. So we came down here and opened up a fishing club. It's been a much quieter life than I'm used to, but I can't complain. I suppose I had my time to shine.
Couldn't the others have done something for you? What about Doc?
I assume you didn't hear that Doc passed away 5 years ago.
No, I didn't. Huh. Did you know this hurricane was coming?
I had heard, yes. The weatherman had been talking about it on the radio the past few days. They seem to take them a bit more seriously down here in the Keys.
I wonder why.
Why haven't you evacuated?
Ever heard the old saying, the captain always goes down with his ship? I never abandoned Coral Gables. I see no reason why I should abandon the Caribbean Club.
Coral Gables was lucky. It didn't get the worst of the hurricane in 26. You're right in the path of this one.
That may be, but I think I've taken sufficient precautions.
This is famous last words. Oh, God.
George, we need to leave. Isn't there any way I can convince you?
You did a pretty good job of convincing plenty of other people in the old days. I'm not opposed to hearing what you have to say. So, Alfie, why is it so important we go back?
Optimistic. Okay. Danger. No, you're needed, man.
Coral Gables needs you back, George. It's just not the same without you.
Oh, I hardly think that's true. Coral Gables has been fine without me the past few years. We had our moment in the sun. It's time for a new generation to take over.
Eh. We're still important.
There's still so much left to do in Coral Gables. You can't just give up now.
Oh, really? This is an interesting change of attitude. Didn't you give up on Coral Gables when you decided to work for Tom Walsh?
Look, man. Deflect. Insult. No. Let's just... I know we apologize, but we still got to defend why we did what we did.
I saw the way things were headed and decided to go for a more lucrative opportunity.
For which I can hardly blame you, but I just wish you hadn't jumped ship so soon.
What else was I supposed to do? Drown with the rats? I don't share your optimism, George. I still can't understand how you never felt tempted to just give up yourself.
Who says I didn't? Do you think you're the only one who saw what was going on? The Depression came to Coral Gables years before the rest of the country. There were days when I thought about packing it all in. I knew when the bubble had burst, but I worked too hard to just give everything up. I stayed until they threw me out.
I didn't know that. I thought you were just naive.
We all have our bad days, Alfie. Sometimes it's bad weeks or even months.
Amen.
What's important above all else is sticking to your principles.
Okay. Acquiesce? No. Principles are great. I feel like we just maybe warn him? Because acquiesce isn't going to get him to come with us. He's just gonna be like, yeah, of course, let's go. Let's go for the extreme approach out of the three.
I understand what you're saying, George, but times have changed. Principles are important, surely, but the depression and lack of money is all anyone thinks about. You made the city beautiful, sparing no expense, making it all about the aesthetics. But think about the value of that city in the current economic climate. Someone in charge wouldn't think twice about tearing down the Biltmore to sell the land if it meant a profit.
And all the work we did, all the sacrifices people made will have meant nothing. I hadn't even considered that possibility. I can't in good conscience allow something like that to happen. It seems living down here all these years has made me a bit out of touch. All right, Alfie. As soon as this storm passes, we'll take the first train back to Miami so I can assess the situation myself. Thank you for helping me see things a bit more clearly.
I think I'm the one who should be thanking you for that, George.
No, but we gotta go now, man.
Let's get a move on.
Yeah.
We should be careful. It sounds like the storm has gotten stronger. George, this building is coming apart. We haven't got any time to lose. We need to get someplace safer.
Okay, we're clicking.
When we get out there, we need to head directly for the shelter south of here. Just follow me, and we'll be there in no time.
Right behind you. George, watch out! The ceiling is collapsing!
Oh no. Did that kill him? Epilogue. A grave in the Everglades. Oh, rip Alfie. Brought the house down.
Ladies and gentlemen, today we remember a very special man whose life was unfortunately cut short. Alfie Banks was someone who wasn't afraid to speak his mind. In fact, he certainly gave me a piece of it one of the last times I spoke with him. However, at heart, he was a kind soul. Alfie cared about the well-being of others, even if they wronged him, and that takes class. Alfie didn't need to apologize to me for the falling out we had so many years ago, but he did, and that meant more to me than anyone could ever know. In the time I knew and worked with him, Alfie always showed an immense amount of initiative, which makes it no surprise that he achieved as much as he did. Alfie may not have been a shining example of morality, but in the end he managed to get things done. Not only do I owe my life to him, but my livelihood as well. Though I may not have expressed it as clearly as I should have, Alfie was instrumental in the success of Coral Gables. I'm sure he knew that. And though he was taken from us far too soon, Alfie's legacy will live on in the streets and buildings of this city. Because, just like the galleon which came to be the symbol of Coral Gables, Alfie sailed through all our lives, leaving behind a golden wake.
And he's going to haunt those streets and buildings forever. Oh, I didn't see his brother in the pews. Edward Doc Dahmers, Coral Gables' first mayor, completed his term in 1928. In 1929, he suffered a stroke while playing golf. After several months of recovery, he returned to his summer home in that word, Massachusetts, where he died on March 24th, 1930. Oh, cool. Yeah, it was based on their real photos. Despite being killed in his penthouse suite on March 4th, 1929, Thomas Fatty Walsh's legacy lives on at the Biltmore Hotel, where many claim his ghost still haunts the 13th floor. Employees have reported elevator malfunctions as well as the smell of cigar smoke when nobody is staying in the suite. Wow. Althea Merrick continued to living at her home until her death in 1937. In 1976, the city of Coral Gables acquired the house and restored it to its 1925 appearance. In 2010, the Coral Gables Garden Club commissioned a bronze statue of Althea, which currently sits in the garden of the Coral Gables house. The Matriarch. William Jennings Byron went on to participate in the Scopes monkey trial of 1925, where he famously took the stand and denounced evolution. Successfully achieving a guilty verdict, Byron died 5 days later after the trial ended. Good riddance. Mabel Cody continued performing death-defying stunts with her flying circus until 1924, when it disbanded due to an accident where she suffered a broken forearm and dislocated shoulder. She went on to join the Doug Davis Baby Ruth Flying Circus. Eunice Peacock Merrick, oh what a maiden name, remained in Coral Gables until her death in 1989. Her contributions of land as well as founding the Coral Gables Women's Club and Gardening Club made her a pivotal figure in the development of the city. She had a good run. Marjorie Stoneman Douglas went on to become a crusader for the environment. Best known for her work related to the conservation of the Everglades, her best-selling book, The Everglades, River of Grass, made her cause popular and earned her the nickname the Grande Dame of the Everglades. She died in 1998 at the age of 108. Whoa! Nope. After the 1935 hurricane destroyed the Caribbean colony, George Merrick returned to Coral Gables, where he re-entered the real estate business. In 1940, he became postmaster of Miami and died 2 years later in 1942 at the age of 55. At least he went back. Merrick's legacy is still apparent in Coral Gables to this day. In addition to several streets and parks which carry his name, a statue of him was erected in front of Coral Gables City Hall in 2006, commemorating his vision and eternal optimism. He looked just like those portraits. Great job on that. Wow. So speaking of Merrick, I'm wondering if the choices you make in the game, Francisco, great job as always, boss, affect like what he says during the funeral. Like, Grundislav does a great job of having a little bit of variation in the games based on your decisions, and you definitely saw that in Lamplight City and in Rosewater, and I can see like this is where he really started to like work on it here. I thought this was a great game and so different in terms of theming from like what we're used to with point and click adventure games, which is usually that kind of quirky LucasArts style game, or you know, like Sierra, those old kind of point and click games. To have something setting in the story of like real estate and true crime, and it doesn't really go into the mafia aspect of it until later on, and like not even in the full half, but just an ambitious real estate developer in Miami in like the early 1900s is just so cool. Very unique. But I really enjoyed this, guys. Thank you all very much for tuning in. I know this is an older game, but I really wanted to check this one off the list, and I'm glad I finally got around to it. I enjoyed it immensely, and I hope y'all did too. I'm looking forward to seeing what is next from Grundislav Games, because Rosewater, which was the last game done, was incredible. And if you haven't checked out the other games, please do. I mean, all of them are a delight. But if y'all like the series, please leave a like down below. Subscribe to the channel, leave a comment, that'd be a big help. And we will see you in the next series. Later days, everyone.